Thank you so much. I am Gabe Trumbo. I'm a second-year MBA student and the CEO of Matte Black Lounges, where we are bringing premium airport lounges to mid-sized domestic airports. I grew up in Northwest Arkansas, home of Walmart, but also home of a mid-sized airport, and I thought that these were the only two options you had when waiting for your flight. But then as I started traveling more for business, experiencing larger airports, I discovered the airport lounge and how much of a difference that can make and how it really turns an airport from something that I dreaded into a place that I really enjoyed hanging out before my flight. I loved lounges, but I couldn't figure out why they didn't exist in more mid-sized airports. Tried to do research and ended up with the main reason was just that no one had actually opened one in a mid-sized airport. So I decided that maybe I should do that. I came to Cornell with that plan, won the hospitality business plan competition last year, got $25,000 from that, and with one of my MBA classmates, opened a lounge at the Syracuse International Airport this year. We ran for 10 days, had an incredible reception. The passengers loved us, the airport loved us, and we also had mid-sized airports from around the country reaching out, wondering how they could get our mid-sized focused lounge into their airport. So over our 10-day run, we had 129 guests come through, normalized to pre-COVID numbers. That would have been over 400. We did no advertising, and as you can see, we're scaling significantly at the end, so we think these numbers would actually be even greater once we had time to open, do proper advertising, and the word got out. For a small airport like Syracuse, which is on the smaller end of what we would target, would look at about $500,000 a year in revenue with almost a 50% net margin on that. It's one of the reasons we're really attracted to mid-sized airports. People aren't spending the normal 3-hour layover time there. They're only coming for about 45 minutes before their first flight, grabbing one drink, one granola bar, and so you're getting incredible margins off of that side. Additionally, the airports aren't looking at it as a money generator. They just want to be able to offer the service to their passengers and to other airlines looking at coming into their airport. So because of this, you have a lot of leverage with the airport as well and can get good terms on leases. Similarly, mid-sized airports are chronically underserved. 39 of the 100 largest airports in the U.S. don't have a single lounge. And then also with COVID-19, people are just more concerned about having a private, quieter place to wait for a flight and don't want to be crammed into a crowded waiting area, as well as moving to more of these mid-sized cities. So we think long-term COVID is actually going to have a really positive impact on lounge expansion into these mid-sized cities. So our growth plan moving forward, we've got kind of a bottom-up approach where we want to enter into these mid-sized airports where we can have a lot of leverage, get in quick, get a first-mover advantage, but then eventually do also want to open in the larger, more international airports. We've identified 20 airports across the U.S. that we aim to be in within the next 4 years, generating about $20 million in revenue per year. So like I said, Syracuse is on the smallest side with about $500,000. Most airports like in Oklahoma City, at Tulsa, Oklahoma, Memphis, Tennessee would be doing about $1 million a year in revenue. And then the very largest, a Houston Hobby, a Dallas Love, a Chicago Midway would be doing between $2 and $3 million a year in revenue. We believe it'd be a great acquisition target for a credit card company, a hospitality company, or something that we could continue to grow and run as an independent lounge network. When you look at kind of the place that lounges exist in today, you've either got the exclusive hyper premium lounges where you have to pay $600 a year to be a member and have to be flying on that airline to get in, or you have the more budget, outdated ones that feel like it may be a 1990s Holiday Inn when you walk inside. So we think there's a great opportunity to be kind of this premium and accessible lounge. And from our test in Syracuse, people seem to agree, and there's a lot of momentum and excitement there. So like I said, my name is Gabe. I'm a second-year MBA. Previously to Cornell, I spent 6 years bootstrapping a tech startup. My business partner, David, is also a second year at MBA. And then we also have our chief design officer, Ali, who has spent years working for WeWork and Kimpton Hotels and really understands how to make these kind of multi-use transitional spaces like an airport lounge. So basically, we are looking to raise $1 million that'll help us open our first set of lounges. It only costs about $150,000 to do the build out and get all the fixtures and furnishing for a lounge. So we're hoping to get 2 of those open by the end of this year, an additional 2 by the end of 2022, and be on that path to 20 in the next 4 years. If you know anyone who would be interested in investing in the hospitality space, we would love to talk to them. There is our contact information. And with that, I will pass it off to policy.